4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to say that's going to take us live, Dr. Bauer. It is Monday, October 21st, 2024, and it's time for Superintendent Live. We always do this the Monday after our action meeting, which was last Thursday, 10 to 17. So how are we doing today on this wonderful October morning, Dr. Bauer?
I am doing okay, Bob. Busy weekend in the Bauer household, and my wife and I got away. We were doing a celebration. I went to Bucknell University. That's in central Pennsylvania.
Which is your alma, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is, they did a celebration of a team. I was a swimmer in college, and they did a celebration of some of the accomplishments of our team. So that was great. But then we were on the road at 6 a.m. yesterday, headed to lacrosse and baseball tournaments. And, before you know it, the weekend's over. And here we are, Monday morning, Superintendent Live. I already had 3 or 4 meetings today, and you and I are rocking and rolling here. But pleased to be with you. Thankful for everyone who's tuning in right now, live, or anyone else. Feel free to drop us a line. We'll try to give you a shout out if you're interested. But yeah, Bob, things are good. How about yourself?
Oh, things are really great too. I actually, 2 weekends ago, I did a similar thing back at my alma mater at IUP, Indiana University of Pennsylvania. They had the 55th anniversary of our radio station. Whoa. So it was kind of nice. We got a lot of people together, a lot of our friends and people through different decades. I will admit, it's kind of funny. When I checked in for the gala on Saturday night there at IUP in Indiana, PA, I got my name tag, and it said class of 1973. And I'm like, oh, you guys messed up. Tee-hee. But then I realized when I registered, I put a typo in. And then in the program, it said, the earliest class here tonight is from 1973. And I'm like, that's me. I was the only one. So sorry, IUP had a typo. It was class 93, not 73. So
Bob,
it's unknown who the earliest class was there because I accidentally had a typo, but it cracked me up that in the program book, it said class of 73 was the earliest class represented. So anyway, that's what I did too. It was fun going back to school. It's interesting. I don't know about Bucknell. Has it changed a lot since you've been there?
Dramatically.
Yeah.
We went for Saturday afternoon after we went to the swim meet with my wife and I, and then some of my friends from, roommates and such were all there. We just went on a walk around campus, and it was unbelievable how different it is. Just, I'm a little bit younger than you. Hasn't been that long, and it's so different.
Yes. Bless you. There you go. Good mute.
Had to sneeze.
That was a good
I'm
mute.
not sure it's over yet. So
I got you. Now, same here. It's interesting because, old timers, we were in dorms. We were in the barracks, basically, right? And everybody has these suites and their own bathrooms, and it's wonderful. And, of course, I was like, oh, they should have dorms. I'm like, yeah, if they did, they wouldn't go there. That's kind of how it goes today in colleges. So, but it was a lot of fun to walk around, and it makes me a little bit sad. They're obviously continuing to do construction projects, et cetera. But our stomping grounds, the TV and radio station and the building is going to be demolished in the next couple years. Yeah. So my home, the place I grew up in television, will cease to exist here in a few years. And that's going to hurt a little bit when that goes away. So, yeah. But progress, got to move forward. Speaking of progress, we're moving forward. We had a school board meeting, always doing the action at the end of each month, the third Thursday of every month at the ESC for our action meeting of the school board. Mm-hmm. So normally we do our business and we start at 7:00. So this last week, we had something a little different. Tell us about what happened at the start of the meeting and a little bit of I don't know if it's a proper terminology, but a little bit of a false start. What happened on Thursday night?
Yeah. So I don't think he would mind me sharing. And I didn't get into the details at the board meeting itself, just that there was a mistake on our end. And here is the honest truth that Mr. Scrocky is kind of the gatekeeper of all things board docs, which is a platform where we house all of our agendas and meetings. And it used to be back in the day when you weren't using board docs, like posting the agenda was literally posting on the front door of the building the agenda. Here are the 20 things we're going to discuss, right? And so, of course, we still have to do that. We still tape the agenda to the front doors of the ESC, and they were taped to the front doors of the ESC on Wednesday afternoon. However, when Mr. Scrocky went to finalize the agenda, he forgot to click go live.
Mhm.
And so on Wednesday night, I believe I got home, I'm going to say 8 o'clock. And I'm walking in the door, and I get a text from him that said, "Hey, I really need to apologize. I missed going live." And lo and behold, he was about 36 minutes late, realized it at 29 minutes. And by the time he got in there and posted it, it was a little bit late. So the Sunshine Act does require that you have the agenda posted 24 hours in advance. Since we post on our door and in board docs and online, what we chose to do was wait the additional 36 minutes to begin taking public comment or any action to account for the fact. So he was so bent out of shape about it, so upset. And Steve is very, very diligent. I said to him, "Steve, let's do some quick math." And by the way, I used to be a math teacher, so don't hold these numbers against me, because I'm just going to kind of like estimate. I said, we have work session, action meeting, ECI, F&O, safe schools, finance, and policy. We have 7 meetings a month that are public meetings. 7. Let's multiply that by, I don't know, 12. So we'll bring that number down a little bit, and let's say 80. It's probably a little bit less than that, but we'll say 80 meetings a year that he posts the agenda for, and he's been here for 11 years. Going on 12, I think. You're talking roughly 900 meetings. And he just missed it by a half hour or so. So that's what happened, Bob. So we decided, you know what, there is a requirement to publicly advertise your meeting. So we publicly advertise way in advance that we're having the meetings. It was posted on our website months and months ahead of time. So all of that was taken care of. It was just a go live on the agenda. So we started the meeting at the time we said we were going to start the meeting, but then we took a recess, waited the 36 minutes, and then came back to the table.
Got it. So if anybody tunes in to watch that, that's what's going on at the beginning. And there's an explanation of that too, as we get into it. So
yeah. So he just felt, he was so torn up about it. And every time I saw him on Thursdays, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "Steve, it is what it is. Like, we are not perfect. And just explain it, just be honest, and we'll get through this." So we did. He's still the best board secretary there is out there. And that's how we chose to handle it.
So the work session the week before, there was a surprise there at the work session, not of one of posting agendas or otherwise, but Steve Scrocky was the center of this one as well. Do you want to tell us about what happened there?
Yeah, so we gave out awards, and you'll be seeing a little bit via the podcast, the Educating with Ease podcast, hosted by the two of us, where we're going to go through the award winners. I know we put out press releases. There were some videos on Facebook, but we have an annual award campaign, if you will. We honor staff members who are exceptional, and we handed out a bunch of them at convocation with all staff. And the last one that we decided on, and we kind of picked these people last year. So it was about planning, all the work that went into recognizing them. We chose that we were going to honor Steve at a board meeting as opposed to at convocation. His wife came, and we started the meeting like any old meeting. And then Mr. Gilmer made the board update video, and it started, and then it kind of screeched to a halt and cut to honoring Steve. So I think he was really touched, well-deserved. And when he actually texted me last Wednesday night to tell me of the mistake with the agenda, I said, even award winners make mistakes.
Yeah, it's not coming back. It's not coming back, Steve. Don't worry. You still have the award. So also the other thing that was going on then in the board meeting on Thursday night was a little bit of discrepancy too on our policy approval. So we've been going through our policies for the last couple of years. 4 years, 5 years. It's been a while. We've been going through our policies. And so at our policy committee meeting, we discussed the policy changes that we're looking at and making the updates, because some of these haven't been updated in years. Some of them have to be updated by law. And so we've been talking about a policy at the school board meetings the last couple months. And then tell us what happened at the board meeting, because we took the policy off we were discussing this month off the agenda for next month.
Yeah. And that was, again, kind of a sunshine law matter that I probably should have used a different word there, because I'm going to use the term matter and when explaining it, that we just wanted to be everybody keeps using the phrase since 2020, in an abundance of caution.
Yeah.
Right. Just to be careful, do it the right way. So obviously in a system like Board Docs, when you are having 7 public meetings a month, a lot of times you roll the template over, right? So you go from one meeting to the next, you roll the template over. So when we were rolling that template over in the finer details, once you clicked on the item in the agenda, it said, recommend these policies for a first read. Well, it wasn't a first read. It was a second read and an adoption. So the agenda itself said adoption.
Mm-hmm.
But if you clicked on the item in the agenda and read the finer details, that detail said a first read. So while attorneys may say that, look, the matter was posted to the agenda, the matter was adoption of policy, the agenda, what's put on the front doors of the ESC that you and I just discussed, doesn't have all the details. It's just what are the things that are going to be discussed. And that was adoption of policies. That was accurate as well. So do I believe it could have been, it could have proceeded anyway? I do. And I believe that Mr. Summers, our solicitor, believes so as well. But we really just wanted to make the decision. Just do it the right way. Let's take a step back. Let's just move it to the next month. Yes, this was a federal regulation that went into place on August 1st. But we'll just push it to the next meeting and do the adoption of policies there. So that's why we chose to go that route rather than just vote on it anyway, just because there was confusion. Was it a first read? Was it a second? The agenda was accurate. The detail was not. So just moving it to the next meeting.
Got it. All right. So also on that agenda, we continue, and you're going to see stuff on the agenda probably for the next 5, 6, 7 years on the North Penn High School renovation and moving forward. So what was on the agenda this month that's of note as we move forward with this project?
I think the biggest thing, Bob, was essentially the board authorizing the administration to take all necessary steps to start borrowing money for the project, right? You and I have been talking in this format now, which is crazy, for years about the borrowing, the estimates, the cost of the project, and the estimated cost is about $260, and that includes some projections and some increases along the way for those finances. And there's going to be a number of borrowings over the course of that project. And so this was authorizing us to move forward with the borrowing plan. I think Mr. Scrocky did say in the finance meeting a few weeks earlier that the first borrowing, the first phase was estimated to be somewhere around $30 million, but we'll probably give the authority to borrow more than that just in case. That said, we'll move forward where we have a draw schedule, and that project's still, we've been saying for years, summer 2025, summer 2025. Summer 2025 is coming up soon. It's incredible. But it's supposed to begin, and that will mean that we start paying for those services. So that's the biggest item that's on there.
Yeah, and if you need an overview, that finance committee, as always, is posted on our YouTube channel and always in Board Docs. If you're in there, if you click on the video tab, you're going to see the video right there too with the agenda. So
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, they're all there. Every school board meeting's in Board Docs as well, video wise. Yeah. Okay. So you can watch them there.
Bob, do we have any comments? I'm not seeing any comments.
No, nobody's coming. Hey, all right, chat. Let's throw it out to the chat. Right? What's a good chat question here?
First of all, just say good morning so that we can acknowledge you and give you a shout out if you're interested. Good chat question. I know. So we just recorded an episode of the podcast, and we've spiraled into talking about Halloween candy.
Yes, we did.
So maybe that for those, whether you celebrate Halloween or not, perhaps a good chat question for those.
Hey, you just throw your favorite candy in the chat. We can do that. I always default to, although as I get older, what do you got there? Yeah, you got it, the Reese's, right? Is that a Take 5? What do you got there?
So this is the Reese's pumpkin. It's a mini, though.
Oh.
But I'll tell you, hey, Dave Kratz, he just said good morning. Thanks for joining us again, Dave. I think the ratio of peanut butter to chocolate on the specialized Reese's is better. So the normal Reese's cup, it's not as much peanut butter. But when you go with like the Christmas tree or the Easter egg or the pumpkin, there's more peanut butter in there. That's where it's at, Bob.
No, I agree. I think like definitely the eggs, the Easter eggs are just always better.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you get the pumpkin, a little better. So I always kind of default to Reese's, but as I get older, it's a little rich anymore. I'm
Okay.
finding myself that it's a little. I could scarf an entire bag of Reese's cups back in the day, right? And they were. I think they were bigger then too.
They were
So I think
bigger.
they're
There's
a
no doubt.
little thinner now, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with the Easter eggs and the pumpkins and all that. But now I do like a little something else there. So I like the Take 5 from Reese's, which is kind of the same thing, but they throw pretzels in there. They're bueno.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Sugar-free candies, yeah. See
Bob,
the key there, Dave. Dave Cratch has said more sugar-free candies. It's tough to get a good tasting sugar-free one.
Yeah.
But I agree. I agree with that.
Bob, so you know how like as you get older, things. So for example, if you go to visit somewhere in your 40s or 50s that you visited as a kid, you're like, I remember this being so much bigger.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the effect with these games?
It could be. Maybe the Reese's cup was as big as my head when I was a kid, and now it's just this little tiny thing. It's possible.
Anyway, back to the matter at hand.
Let's go back to the school board meeting. So the other thing we'll talk about renovation and things going forward. So we all know we that our director of facilities and operations, Tom Schneider, is retiring in. Is it March?
It's March.
It's March, and that we had an exciting hire on Thursday night. Tell us about who we're bringing in to work with Tom and replace Tom.
Yeah. So Mr. Bill Slaughter. Bill is actually no stranger to the school district. And after the meeting, when we convened the meeting or I guess dismissed the meeting, I went out into the lobby. I'm chatting with folks who were there from the community, and they're like, why does he look familiar? So Mr. Slaughter actually worked for a company called ICS. And that company was our construction manager during the Knapp and Crawford Stadium projects. But prior to working there, Mr. Slaughter worked in a neighboring school district for a long, long time. So he does look familiar because people saw him serving in that role as our construction manager during those two projects.
Yep.
So we were thrilled that he applied and went through the process and ultimately prevailed, which was a highly competitive process. We had excellent candidates, which I was so grateful for. So if people watch the meeting or meetings in a couple months, the F&O meetings, you'll see a lot of Mr. Slaughter. He should look familiar for those who follow along to those types of meetings. But excited to have Bill on board. He should be joining us at the beginning of December.
That's great. And also it's rare that we can usually do this. And we have, with the high school project, there are so many details, so many things. It's not really an easy, okay, this is my last day. Good luck tomorrow to the new guy kind of setup. So talk about that transition when Bill gets here in December and then Tom ultimately retires in March.
Yeah. So we just thought, given where we are in this moment in North Penn, that a significant overlap was necessary. So much work being done, and it is so far beyond just the high school, right? There are projects all over the place, and there are systems that need attention all over the place. Chillers in this building and boilers in that one, and the roof over here, and this system or lighting system, this playground, for example. So many things that it is not as simple as a 2-day transition.
Yeah.
And catching up on all things related to the high school project as well being very important. So Tom and Bill have worked together, not in the same school district, but have worked together before. So I think that will really help with the transition. But we wanted to have as much time as possible. So we're grateful to have Mr. Slaughter starting in December. And then Tom's last day of work is sometime in March. So there will be a couple months where they can overlap and work together.
That's excellent. So speaking of getting in early, we have an early bird contract with our North Penn Educational Support Professionals Association, which is our support staff, which are the teacher aides, secretaries, specialists. I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to miss some groups. So it's our support staff.
Yeah. You have tech assistants, you have some staff nurses, you have a lot of folks, instructional assistants, math assistants. It's something like 550 individuals. But I'm really, really pleased to say that we have an early bird contract. And what that means is there are laws that say when we have to start negotiating. When you are in your final year of a collective bargaining agreement, you have to start meeting in January. Like that's required. And sometimes you have to have a mediator come in and help the process. And in both occasions, last year being the Teachers Association and this year being the Support Professionals Association, we kind of approached their leadership and said, hey, would you guys be interested in kind of trying to work this out, just us? So no attorneys involved, work through it. and have real conversations. Negotiations do have a process. There's a back and forth. We present our proposal, you present your proposal, we go back and forth, and attorneys talk at the table, and sometimes it can get pretty contentious. This was really collaborative. Like, hey, look, these are our priorities. Those are your priorities. Let's see how we can work together to, do something what's best for the district.
That's excellent. Good
so
process.
3-year deal.
Yep.
And we have an early bird process for the teachers and early bird for support professionals. I'm just really proud of that. I think it speaks to the relationship we've been building with them.
No, that's excellent. It just keeps things nice and stable with no questions. I mean, the year of their contract doesn't end until current contract till June 30th of 2025. So we're set there through 2028 with support staff professionals. So that's amazing.
Yep.
That's great work. So just as we get in the wrap here, this isn't on the agenda, but I thought I'd throw it out there. So we have
curveball.
Yeah, a little bit of curveball, not a big curveball. I think you'll appreciate this. So we got, a bunch of folks coming in. Hiring slows down a little bit. It's really hectic in July and August because we have retirees and people that move on, and we got to bring a lot of folks back in. But we do have one retiree, and I don't always like selecting and pulling people out. But this week, tomorrow, actually, I believe is the last day. We have one retiree also from facilities, the amazing, the always humble, the always kind. I've never seen him be angry, always getting things done. Mr. Bob Linetti retires. His official last day is, or not official last day, his last day here is tomorrow in the North Penn School District. So I know you've had a chance to work with Bob at multiple levels as high school principal, as assistant superintendent. I'm just taking a little curveball to give a shout out for Bobby there.
I'll tell you what, this guy is one of the most kind, hardworking, sincere individuals you could ever meet. He was the head custodian at North Penn High School when I was principal, and he also overlapped a little bit with, not a little bit, he worked with Mr. Hines and he worked with myself. He was the head custodian at Pembroke at one point, I believe. But I'll tell you what, you want to talk about servant leadership? Like, Bob will serve. He is the individual when fire alarms go off in the middle of the night in any of our 22 facilities. He's the guy getting up and running over there. When we have a pipe burst, when there's electrical wire down, the snowstorm, whatever it is, Bob is that person. He answers the call. We actually started a support staff member of the year at the high school. We called the Bob Linetti Award, just because everybody loves Bob Gilmer. Everyone loves Bob
Linetti is the gold standard.
Yep. Yeah. It must be something to the name, but he is what a wonderful human being. We did a little retirement celebration for him at a local establishment last week, kind of orchestrated by you, I think. And you know what? I just stopped in. I don't usually go to that kind of stuff because I feel we have so many wonderful employees in the North Penn School District. And I always feel like if I go to one, and I miss another one, is that me taking a shot? I don't want that ever to be perceived. So I usually try to stay away from the individual events, and I go to the bigger ones with multiple people. And I said, hey, Bob, I'm just stopping in. I couldn't not come to this one. And I thank you for everything. And I gave him a hug, and he kind of said it in my ear. He's giving me a hug. He said, I just want you to know I love you, man. Yeah. And it got me. And I love the guy. He's whenever my career is over, you asked me to list the top 5 of people I've worked with or come across in my career. He's guaranteed to be on the list.
Absolutely. Well, just trying to get something together for him, which he didn't want. Of course he doesn't want. Of course. He doesn't need to make a fuss about him. It's not about him. It never has been. And so I kind of tricked him a little bit. I said, Bob, I really need to talk to you. Can you come visit me? What do you need? And of course, he's right on my doorstep. What do you need? What's going on? I said, look, I know you don't want a retirement party. Can we at least just gather and say thank you? No, I don't need that. It's okay. It's not about me. And I go, I know, Bob, it's not about you. It's about us. We want to say thank you. And when I said that, he goes, all right, if you guys want that, of course I'll do it. So we do appreciate Bob giving us the opportunity to say thank you and spend a little time together in that way. So it's great. I'll miss him. I probably even have to train myself to not automatically call him when I need something, and be like, oh no, I can't call Bob anymore. So he's always said to.
Yeah,
what you need,
Yep. His line was always, how can I help?
Yeah, always.
How can I help?
Yep.
So yeah, that I appreciate you giving him that shout out and throwing this curveball here. So tomorrow is his last day in district. He's got some vacation time to ride out or whatever, but we're going to miss him, and we certainly won't replace him.
Got it. All right, Dr. Bauer, I think that's it for the agenda generally. Again, all that stuff's posted on our YouTube channel. If you want to watch the whole meeting or go to the board docs and go through the documents, it's all there at go. I always got to get this address. It's a little strange. go.boarddocs.com/ that's actually confusing. Just go to the website and go to board docs. It's /PA/NPEN/board. That's the agenda, but it's always there on the website.
And you know what, Bob, you and I have discussed this before in this format, but I think it's good for us to occasionally remind folks, if you watch an action meeting, that's where the board is voting on matters of the district. That's when they're actually taking a vote. That's not when they're doing the work, right? So we have very few people that attend our committee meetings. The committee meetings are where the work gets done, right? The discussion takes place. And, an example I used when speaking with someone recently was our ECI meetings are often over 2 hours. Yeah. Our F&O meetings will be over an hour and a half because there's conversations and dialogue. Whereas when you get to an action meeting, it's essentially
decision time. We make a decision. Yep.
This committee has made a recommendation. Dr. Bauer's recommending that the board take action on such and such, and that's when they vote. I really think the good work of the school district gets done in those committee meetings, and then the action is literally just votes. That's all it is. So it's obviously very important. But for those who aren't familiar with the whole school board nuances, highly recommend you check out some of our committee meetings. That's really where the conversation takes place.
Yeah, definitely. And it's all in board docs. All of it's there. So if you miss something, you're on a long drive and you want to listen to an ECI meeting, boom, bring it up. You listen to it through your phone, listen to it through your car. Then that makes for I don't know if it makes for a shorter drive or not. But we go through a lot of material through all those committee meetings. And then, the big meetings you see that are the whole board, that's the finance committee. The whole board's there for that. That is a committee meeting. And then our work session is usually focused on a topic or two, where it's a little bit whole board discussion on a topic or two. And then the action is just that. And I know it feels like it, where it's like I make a recommendation, second, a motion, second, vote. It is we have discussed, we have a recommendation. Now we're deciding whether or not we're going to actually pass those items. So it's all there in board docs, all of it. So, and for years now, we've had board docs for a couple of years. So you can dig through as much as you want to watch some of those old meetings. All right, Dr. Bauer, that's all I got. Anything else for our chat out there in the Facebook land on Superintendent Live?
No, I would just say October 31st is some families celebrate Halloween. And then on November 1st, the day after, it's actually Diwali. And we have many families in North Penn celebrating Diwali. It's actually a day of no school. And then that following Tuesday is actually Election Day. So we have a lot coming up next week. We have the Halloween on the one day. We have off that Friday. That is Diwali, and much of our community will celebrate Diwali. And then that Tuesday is also an in-service day for our staff. That's Election Day, and just encouraging everybody, regardless of what side of things you are on, vote, 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 vote. So
always vote. Always vote. Make your voice heard.
Civic duty to vote.
Absolutely. I always say this: you really can't complain unless you don't vote. So go vote. And it's important. Every one of us. It's one of those things I always do with my kids. I always brought my kids to the polling place with me.
Me too.
They are always voting as well, because they know how important it is as a resident and citizen of this community to keep on voting. So that's it. We say have a happy and safe Diwali. Have a good, safe Halloween. What else is coming up next week? I think that's it.
I think that's it in terms of those celebrations. Go ahead.
Daylight savings is coming up. Is that this weekend?
It is coming up. Yeah.
So this is the good one.
This is fall back.
Yeah, you get that extra hour. This is the good one. So everybody
enjoy. This Saturday?
I think so. Actually,
is it really? I thought it was in November. Man,
is it? It's always October, isn't it?
Let's
see here. Oh, you're right.
Look at that.
Yeah, you're right. It's November 3rd. So it's after Halloween and Diwali. So that's Sunday, November 3rd will be fallback. So you got 2 weeks. So don't do that this weekend. You won't miss anything, but you don't need to. You get an extra hour in 2 weeks.
Here's a fun fact. November 2nd happens to be my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, November 2nd.
Thank you. Also happens to be Mr. Patchell's birthday.
Oh, you are You are connected by astrological connections here.
But on November 2nd, I'm actually going out to Penn State to watch the Penn State Ohio State football game with Dr. Dietrich.
Oh, look at that. You can't get better than that. And you get the extra hour because you'll need it with all the traffic after that game. You'll be using up that extra hour in the middle of the night.
You got it, Bob. All right. With that, Bob, thanks so much for this. I really appreciate it. I hope folks appreciate the conversation as well. We appreciate people tuning in, and we'll see you next month.
Take care, everyone.